What?
Come on.
Since when?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into a casual Friday. First one of the off-season.
Chill, bro. Hang loose, fellas.
We are presented... we are in the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. I'm Harrison Wynn. I got my guy Brendan Vogt with me today.
Man, it's a beautiful day. The sun was out, great walk, and Special K, aka Super Producer Kale, Eric Wedum, and I are going to see Furiosa tonight. So I'm pretty much locked in. I've been locked in all day.
Wow, that's a great shirt you're wearing too.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a casual Friday kind of vibe.
What's incredibly that's a little bit like that's a
casual?
give up Friday a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, I wore my Cancun hat as well because
God,
I don't know if you guys know.
I can't believe you went from basketball analyst to old burnout like that quickly.
Oh yeah, I go to Cancun too, up here in my mind. I don't actually get to go to Cancun.
This is like the first outfit that might as well just be a prop.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe you have a Cancun hat.
Yeah, these are just things in my closet, by the way.
Oh, that's D-line over there.
A Cancun hat really hits different these days.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
That is really rough, man.
Just to remind
we
everyone.
are symbolically in Cancun right now. We're there, enjoying the sun, getting some rays.
I wish we were literally there.
I know. Screw Serbia, even though we'd love to go back there. Let's go to Cancun next.
Yeah, don't say screw Serbia too loudly, though. It's an afternoon show. I think they're watching, you know.
The people in Serbia know I love them.
I know. Let's go to Mexico.
Guys, we got a packed show today. We're going to go over some fake trades because that's what we do in the offseason.
Oh, boy.
Got 10 of them that I want to run through with you guys.
All right.
You can also find them on DNVR.com. We're also going to go to Repent Corner.
Yeah.
We need to repent to the basketball gods to start this offseason.
Well, we clearly did something wrong. And so, without being positive what the offense was, we all, I think, have a few trespasses that we need to unburden ourselves of and to acknowledge where we may have overstepped.
I mean, a real podcaster looks inside after a tough season. They look themselves in the mirror and they say, like, what am I made of, you know? And so taking responsibility, that's part of our game too.
Yeah, we got to look inward. We got to evaluate what we've said, what we've done, and how we can be better.
Yep.
People and podcasters.
That's right.
And then we're going to go online with D-Line later on in the show.
That's right. I have been spending some time online these days, you guys.
Oh, that's good. Thank God.
Got a lot of time on my hands.
First, I don't know if you guys tuned in last night. The Boston Celtics went up 2-0.
Yeah, I saw.
On the Indiana Pacers, 126-110. Jaylen Brown had 40 points.
Oh, my God.
Jason Tatum, 23. 1 of 7 from 3.
Yeah, that was some real garbage time padding there, but whatever.
Tyrese Halliburton also got hurt, and this series might be over, Vote.
Yeah, I think if we can just fast forward to Repent Corner, I mean, I think Brendan Vogt is clearly the one that has been in the most direct violation of the basketball gods.
I may have pushed it because the messed up thing was I saw the whole time how easily they were going to make the finals, and I thought
anybody could see it.
And I thought, what's the best move here? Quadruple down.
Holy no.
You know the other thing about the Celtics, which does not change how I feel, largely built the right way. Like, really nothing to complain about with that roster. Haven't won in a while, but I chose to make them the enemy.
I know.
And that might be on me. That might be, some of that is on me. The rest of it is on the Eastern Conference, dude. Are you kidding me?
There's a good chance Jason Tatum could run for president someday. He's that likable.
Right.
I know. He's a Cardinals fan,
and lucky
too.
enough, he'd be in an election where there's just no competitors.
Yeah.
It'd be just a single candidate ballot.
Turns out I love his platform. What would I do? It's all on the table now, boys.
I hope you're ready to repent.
I am.
You've made some mistakes.
This is shaping up as the darkest timeline possible for you, though.
Oh, Brendan Vogt is
Michael Porter has a bad Game 7 in a bad series, and Jason Tatum could win a championship.
If Jason Tatum wins Finals MVP.
I think we need a live watch along with just you.
Well, I have good news.
Just you for the finals.
I have good news. As things are shaping up, he's not going to win Finals MVP.
Oh,
Jaylen Brown, come on down. Derek White.
Oh, boy. This is almost an assurance that this will happen.
Name 30 players that are better than Derek White. You can't do it.
The best part is it still could work out for you if the Celtics win and he doesn't win Finals MVP. Do you still take a victory lap then?
No, because the truth is, it's bigger than Tatum. It's the logo on the chest.
Yeah.
And also, I hate
for the name on the front, not the back.
That's where you hate for the name on the front, not the back. And I hate to say it, but I think the public is kind of on the same page about Tatum right now. I don't think he's overrated anymore. So I almost feel like my watch is ended. And now I just have to watch my worst nightmare play out.
Yeah. The unfortunate news from that game, though, was Halliburton got hurt. Hamstring injury.
Oh, my God.
It feels like, I mean, even without him, their chances were or even with him, their chances in this series were very small. Without him, I mean, we don't even really have to watch these next couple games.
Yeah, I'm going to because I hate myself. But
okay. Yeah, this is an official no contest at this point. Yeah. Like this is not going to go well.
What do you guys think happens in the Timberwolves Mavs series from here on out? 1-0 Mavs. Game 2 of that series is tonight. Do you think have the Mavs flipped to favorites in this series for you guys?
They have for me.
Yeah.
They absolutely have for me. I mean, obviously, we're going to see a lot of adjustments, but to me, I've said this, like, I really just see the Mavericks having the antidote to everything that the Timberwolves want to do. And it really just comes down to that point of attack defense. As soon as they get past it, then Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns have to decide whether or not they want to come up and challenge the shooter. And if they do, then Daniel Gafford and Washington are free to just dunk the ball wide open. And if not, then you have a wide open mid-range shot, which Kyrie and Luka are very adept at hitting. So I don't know. I find they're like in a tough spot here.
I am prepared. Eric's observations are all astute from what's played out. I am prepared for playoff
totally
series
different.
are just weird, right?
Totally
like we just
different.
got out of that Nuggets-Wolves series where after the first 2 games respectively, we all had wildly different perspectives on the series. So
we lived 4 different lives throughout the Nuggets Timberwolves series.
And it was another reminder to me of just how long, if a series goes long, just how long it really is, especially narratively speaking. So it did feel like a hold your horses on the Minnesota thing game, but that could change real quick. So I'm curious about that series.
Totally.
In a way, I'm certainly not curious about the other one, unfortunately.
I mean, the only thing, they do, like we said this a million times, like every playoff game is really unique unto itself. But I mean, I could really see a situation where it's not that dissimilar to the Celtics series, where the first game, Celtics stole it. Second game, it's like, okay, we got it. And then they just smack them.
Wow, so you're really off the Timberwolves.
I am.
Man.
Is that
Surprised.
emotionally charged? Or is that is that hatred based?
There's definite hatred in there for sure. But I also just saw, I don't know. It just, to me, I was like, oh no, like if they can't contain those 2 guys, like they're in big trouble. And like they just have the ability to space the floor quite a bit also with basically everybody but Gafford.
I know, even their non-shooters are hitting shots right now, which...
Right, so that could end. That's exactly what happened with the Nuggets.
Or it could not. That's how the Heat reached the finals.
Exactly.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I think the series is a long one. I mean, if I had to guess, tonight will probably determine if that is the case. But yeah, I think it's just, especially that game 1, it's just more evidence that, every playoff game is its own story and its own animal and its own thing, but so is every playoff series,
Yep, 100%.
Like Minnesota looks so good against the Nuggets. And look, maybe part of that is like Minnesota was really good, but maybe the Nuggets weren't as good as we thought they were.
That could be it as well.
That's also what I was thinking.
Right.
In game 1 of this series. Maybe the Nuggets just weren't the
as close as
juggernaut that we thought they might be. But also every playoff series is so different and the matchups matter. And
the matchups matter entirely for the Denver Nuggets.
Totally.
And I think the decided best player in the world right now is on a great team, but I think something not like, the first year of the Miami Heat or whatever. And so I think as a result, I think you're going to see, I talked about this on the last show, like I think real basketball heads have always known matchups matter a bit more than we talk about, as opposed to just best player versus best player. But I think right now in the era of parity, which I know you guys love so much,
love it.
You guys
always
love it.
loved parity.
You guys love when I bring it up.
Love
But
the CBA.
In that era, I think we could end up having, we could really, it's a little less about like this team is so much better than that team versus this team matches up really well against that team. So we'll see. But I also know that these things can change so quickly within a series, and it could change quickly tonight.
Yeah. Let's go to some news from the Nuggets as they start their pre-draft process.
Okay,
I don't know if you guys saw this.
We're talking about the draft.
Yeah, buckle up, Eric.
It's over.
We're talking about the draft and trades and free agency over the next couple of months on this show.
Let's
Just
go.
prepare yourselves.
I'm prepared.
They're starting up their pre-draft workouts. The Nuggets do hold a first-round pick in this draft and a second-round pick next year. But first-round pick in this draft, late first. They're working out some Colorado guys. Nick Clifford from CSU and KJ Simpson from CU in for pre-draft workouts. Now, the Nuggets, they always work out the local guys. I like that. They always bring them in. But both those guys, potential late first, early second round picks. I don't know if you guys watch these guys or are familiar with their games at all, but if you look at the draft and the Nuggets drafting late first, if they keep that pick, what type of player would you want?
Well, just to start with these two guys, I wasn't super dialed in on your Rammies, so I don't have a ton of Nick Clifford thoughts. I don't know if this is a popular thought or blasphemous thought in Boulder. He looked clearly the best player on that team to me during their run. I mean, I know Cody Williams is the one, right, with all the upside and all the hype, and at different ages and all that, but
KJ Simpson was the most important player on the team.
he was really impressive to me. He was really, really impressive. I'm not a scout. I'm not going to pretend. But in the games that I watched, I really liked KJ Simpson.
So he's a 6'2" guard, and he's a scorer. He's a score first guy. 20 points a game around that last year, and he shot over 43% from three and over, I think, in the high 80s or low 90s from the line. So he's going to be a good shooter. He's an offensive guy, kind of undersized score first point guard. And then Nick Clifford from CSU, he's kind of like a do everything wing.
Yeah, no,
He's a good player.
I watched him quite a bit. No, he had games where he was,
And he used to go to CU.
yes, and he's from Colorado Springs, so
Yeah.
he's like a serious Colorado guy. No, he's long. He's good defensively. He has a good shot. He wasn't like the most consistent player I've ever seen in my life, but he's also like he has like a rangy, like NBA body, sort of like. I don't know. To me, he might be a little bit on the small side. I imagine he'll be a 3. I like him all right. Like I like Nick Clifford. I mean, he
Listed at 6'5".
6'5". Yeah, he's like. I mean, he needs to fill out maybe a little bit. But I mean, he is a good player. He really is a good player, and he definitely has a skill set that could translate. Like sometimes his shot was so wet. And then, he's a college player, so like, what does that mean? Like, it really ebbed and flowed. But I mean, it's interesting. But the larger question is, what kind of player should the Nuggets be targeting? I mean, a sort of he kind of is like a 3-and-D type, Nick Clifford. That's always a archetype that you like in the NBA. But I mean, I think the Nuggets need to target that backup 5. Like they have kind of a certain type of player on deck in a lot of guys that are already on the roster, like Nick Clifford, Hunter Tyson. They're sort of, they're like a little bit in the same mold. Like
It's tough
Jalen
because
Pickett,
they just drafted a bunch of guys, and they're
Totally.
all kind of different positions except that
the only
backup
thing we don't
big.
have up is the backup big.
Which via free agency thus far has just been their designated minimum contract slot with the cap sheet as it is.
It seems
So-
like no GMs care about backup center.
Really does
if
seem
you have
that
a
way.
good one.
But if the best way to get one, is in the draft, depending on how you feel about how the recent haul will play out, maybe it's time to start thinking about it. We'll see. I mean, the bigger thing than having a backup 5 is I think Malone just committing to playing one. which kind of is part of what Wynn's been saying.
I think he
for a
might
bit.
like developing one versus just being given one.
Being given one, a rental that
Yeah, like
just, he doesn't
especially
trust
like
or something.
those guys that like the JaVale McGee,
Isaiah Hartenstein.
The guy from the Lakers,
Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant, yes,
Yeah.
who didn't make a single
Nuggets
basket.
legend, champion.
Didn't make a single basket in Nuggets uniform.
He made 0 baskets, actually. It was shocking.
That was so rough. But yeah, Malone never plays those guys. But we need a backup 5. We need a backup 5.
I
that we
think
can
the
trust.
rubber is meeting the road with that this offseason,
Oh
it
my
feels
god,
like.
dude! I never want to have that conversation again. But it's so obvious, man.
I see. I'm of two minds of it. In that, on one hand, if your biggest weakness is how you look when your best player is off the floor,
Well, that's how it's always going to be for the Nuggets.
right? I mean, not the worst problem in the world. On the other hand, if part of the question is getting Jokic rest throughout the season without necessarily making him miss games, just not having to play X amount of minutes or whatever, that would be a nice option. Especially because, as it stands, the next best option is to tire out Aaron Gordon. So
Yeah,
perhaps
that'd be
that
great.
conversation finally has reached its
I know,
tipping
man.
point.
It feels like it must have this summer.
Yeah.
What about DJ Burns?
Well, you sent that.
Is that making an appearance in Online with D-Line?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. We heard from Shams Charania of The Athletic, right?
Yeah.
And Stadium.
That
Right.
he saw him recently in a workout and he's lost 45 pounds. Although I think I watched it and they said 25 pounds. 45
really?
pounds is a.
That's a tremendous amount of weight.
No
look it up.
Ozempic either.
No
No
Ozempic.
Ozempic.
That was
Okay,
made
just
very
for
clear.
wondering.
No Ozempic.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that if.
I know. It's like
Just got to make it very clear.
This-
Even though nobody's asking.
I'm like, yeah, he's like a
This is
college
like-
age athlete.
We've reached the point in human history where obesity and COVID are the same thing. Just general sickness, where you could be like, "Oh man, I lost some weight," and people are like, "Wait, Ozempic?" Or you can be like,
It's the
"Hey,
first
I'm-"
thing anybody thinks.
You're like, "Hey, I'm sick,"
I
and everyone's
guess.
like, "Is it COVID?"
He's telling people
Like, you
it's
can't just be-
45. He's telling people it's
You
45
can't
pounds.
just be sick
45.
or lose weight. Like those, it has to be called into
Right,
question.
right. How did this college athlete star get in shape?
Ozempic.
Ozempic. It's my first guess.
But also-
First of all, he plays in NC State. You know what I mean? Like, who's
Totally.
the Ozempic plug in North Carolina?
Oh my god! Well, that and it's just
What?
like, well,
What,
it's just
what
more-
are they, a third world country?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's a bit more of an LA fad, I feel like, than
I feel like it's kind of probably a fad everywhere.
all right, probably. Whatever, Win.
I think it's more so he just got away from, like, I assume, the barbecue of North Carolina.
That might be. No Ozempic.
Which saying that makes me think it was Ozempic.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
Did DJ Burns bring that up unprompted?
Yeah,
he's like, I want you to know I lost 45.
Or, I was going to say, maybe he's inking a sponsorship deal with Ozempic.
Oh my god, dude. But that would mean
if that was the case, he would say, I lost 45 pounds with Ozempic.
unbelievable. All the same, he says he's
That'd
been
actually be
waking
a
up
good avenue.
at 5 a.m. and working out.
Sounds much more plausible. That actually sounds like that might be it.
As an athlete, that actually sounds like pretty.
With NBA aspirations.
Yeah, so I mean, everybody loved his story, his presence, and more than anything, his shot, and his touch.
Yeah.
Is it the same though if he doesn't have that Ozempic-less bod, dude?
Right. He loses a little of the
mystique.
the
dude.
mystique.
The
yes.
cult hero, the NCAA cult hero.
Yeah,
But here's the thing. You can't be a cult hero and an NBA player.
that's true.
You know what I mean? This is like
Will
Luke
Barton?
Herringody and
Yeah.
like who's the other one that played forever at Summer League? The other Notre Dame big.
Herringody.
He's like Mr. Summer League. Is it Herringody? It's him or the other one, but you guys get what I'm saying.
Drew
Yeah.
Timmy. There's another one.
Or like a famous mustache guy that plays at, like
Adam
Loyola or
Morrison.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
can't do that and be an NBA star. So I think DJ Burns was like, who am I?
He was like, which avenue do I want to go?
Who am I
do I
gonna-
want to
yeah.
be this guy forever, or do I want to maybe play
Well,
in
I'm
the
curious
NBA?
because he's undersized even when he was so oversized.
Right.
So now if he's undersized and is now undersized, is he just undersized?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
First of all, brilliantly said.
hey, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit a break, and we'll get to some fake trades on
That's
the other
good.
side. Then we'll go to repent corner.
Oh my God, dude!
And then we'll go online with
I need to
D-Line.
repent big time. We also need to repent right now for accusing DJ Burns of actually using Ozempic.
We're not doing that. We're not
I think
doing
I did. I implied it.
Alrighty. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado.
Oh, hell yeah.
I grew up in a place where most people didn't actually need their trucks. They just bought them to make it harder for you to park.
Either that or just to live in the back of.
No living, yeah. And then I got out here, I was like, oh, people use them for stuff.
Right.
That's interesting.
That's not just moving a couch across Jersey.
Correct. Yeah. Milburn, New Jersey. No, people use it. Whether you're conquering off-road trails in Colorado or hauling the weight of the world, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you. Like the all-new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser.
Dude, that's a beautiful vehicle.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful
It's
vehicle.
gorgeous.
They've got 17 models, fellas, with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4 Runner. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. Auto Nation Toyota, Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Remember, Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle, excuse me.
Man,
the
I drove
DNVR.
past a Toyota dealership the other day and I was like, felt the call. I was like, should I go test drive a Toyota?
The
I was
iconic
in a rush.
2024 Land Cruiser.
Yeah, dude, I was like in a rush. So I didn't do it, but I'm like, this feels right.
Yeah. What also feels right is staying at Circa Resort and Casino when you're in
does feel
Vegas. You can use the code DNVR20 for 20% off at checkout when you're booking your stay. That's an awesome discount to take advantage of this summer. We'll be out there, I think, for Summer League in July. Coming up quick.
Yeah. Actually, if you are interested, this is an informal survey.
Okay.
And you can reply, you can DM the DNVR Nuggets Twitter account to let us know. We're considering putting together a trip for fans to go to a package for fans to go to Summer League, stay at Circa, get stadium swim, have like an outing, like a, that kind of
With
thing.
us.
With us, and, maybe you can get Calvin or something. I don't know. Let us know if that's something you're interested in, because we're considering putting it together, but it's not a small task. So let us know if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, let us know. DM the Nuggets account. But if you are booking your stay at Circa, use the code DNVR20, 20% off your stay. Beautiful casino resort, stadium swim,
No
awesome
kids.
place to watch games, no kids.
Love that part.
DNVR20 for 20% off. All right, back here on the DNVR Nuggets podcast, casual Friday edition,
man.
first of the off season.
Dude, it's like wearing an old pair of casual shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or a casual Cancun hat.
Just slips right on, man.
You stole that from your dad, right? There's no way that was primarily
No, I
yours.
have a Cancun hat. I wasn't going to wear it before the Nuggets lost.
Wait, hold on. Can you take me through the acquisition of this Cancun hat?
Yeah, I got it the same way I got all my hats. I couldn't tell you or remember. It's just in my closet.
That definitely looks like a hat from the Cancun airport.
Yeah, I've never been to Cancun, so your guess is as good as mine. But
Wait,
I have
what?
it.
You just have a Cancun hat that you don't
do.
know the origin of?
Yeah. Have you
Man.
met me? That's most of my clothes. I'm like, this is just here now.
I mean, even though you're like an irresponsible, insane
Vagrant.
person,
Yeah.
still, how does a hat materialize in your? Did you take it from somebody?
I'm a little used to it, so I don't even know if I could give you that answer. That's just kind of how it goes for me.
All right, well, I put
What?
together 10 fake trades that I think would make the Nuggets a better team.
Okay, let's go.
And most of them involve Zeke Naji and Reggie Jackson.
Okay.
As
All
in,
right.
as in not playing on the Nuggets? Oh, in the trade.
In the trade.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Here's number one. Nuggets add offensive firepower. This is best case scenario of any trade I think I can come up with.
Okay.
Nuggets get Bogdanovic
I'm in.
Okay.
for Zeke Naji, Reggie Jackson, Hunter Tyson, and a first round pick.
Woo! And you're looking at this obviously this is just replacing KCP. Is this for the bench?
Well, you got to think KCP could be gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he comes back, man, Bogdanovic would be an awesome guy to have off the bench.
Yeah. As a guy, since Murray showed himself to be somebody that really just ran with the bench, where he just literally just ran with the bench. He didn't actually shoot or score or make anyone better. They need scoring off the bench for sure. I hate the idea of giving up on Hunter Tyson so soon, the
I
next
know.
Larry Bird. But
Really?
listen,
You guys feel that attached to Hunter
No, I
Tyson?
just wanna say-
all NBA Summer League first teamer Hunter Tyson.
I'm
wanna
open to getting that attached to Hunter Tyson. I just can't say I'm there yet.
Well, listen, you're right. You're right. Bogdanovic is a great player.
He's also
Is it
Serbian.
Bojan or Bogdan?
This is Bogdan.
This is Bogdan.
Yeah,
Of the
I want to
Hawks.
see what Hunter has got first.
Can we try to let's role play in the normal basketball way? We're the Atlanta Hawks front office. Why do we want to take that trade?
Well,
We don't know what we're doing.
Well, Bogdanovic was yelling at Quinn Snyder in a huddle during a timeout late in the season.
Was he yelling in Serbian?
Probably.
Maybe.
That's what I would do. First of all,
He's like, Dobre Veche!
And the Hawks just got the first overall pick.
Gimli!
Oh,
They
this is
probably will want more draft picks. I would think they'd take a turn towards a rebuild. I don't know, though.
What do you think where are the Hawks right now?
They're in the middle.
But how did they get the first overall pick in the middle? That's unbelievable.
no, it actually was unbelievable.
Yeah,
but
they had a
this
very
might,
small chance
to
at
Wynn's
it.
point, this might tip them. They were kind of in no man's land. They couldn't get a good DeJounte Murray trade before, but would they maybe settle for a different one now? Kind of start the wheels on returning that roster over. So it's the first round pick, right? Is the prize if you're the Atlanta Hawks there?
Yeah, and look, maybe it's not a future first rounder, not the first rounder in this draft because this draft sucks. Also, if the Nuggets want to trade their first rounder, just a couple caveats. It has to be on draft night just because of the future picks they have and the Stepien rule. And also, they can only trade Zeke Naji and Reggie Jackson together in a deal if they're under the second apron. But they will be, when KCP declines his player option. So he will decline it, and then they could do one of these trades.
Dude,
And then you could still even re-sign him.
I'm going to tell you, every time we go into draft scenarios and the particulars of what trade is available, how you can do it, feels like when your friend explains a very complicated board game to you.
Yeah.
You just sort of you're like, oh, so wait, I can't use the magic enhancer
Unless you roll a 20.
unless I've captured a dragon. I haven't
Right.
captured a dragon yet.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll sit on that. The second apron. What a terrible phrase. I hate that phrase.
But
Every
it's a
time it
terrible
comes up.
thing also.
I know, it really is.
It's going
absolute-
to potentially break up the Nuggets.
Oh, man, I always thought we would do that.
I'm surprised you're as invested in Hunter Tyson as you are.
I fell in love with him during Summer League. And
Okay.
those bonds are hard to break. Listen, I
They
Love is
definitely
strong
are.
and powerful.
I fell
Falling
out
in
of
love with somebody in Vegas is a bond that is hard to
I
break.
fell
been there.
out of love with Jay Huff in Summer League and in love with Hunter Tyson.
Shout
and
out
I
Destiny.
can't be talked out of either until they prove me wrong.
Okay.
I don't know if Destiny was a real name.
All right, we can move on.
It was love, though.
People tried to cancel me on the internet for this one, so we can probably move past it pretty quickly. But Josh Giddey's available to be traded. And I don't think it would take a lot to get him, and
No.
he's pretty good, I think, for a bench guy.
What are we giving up?
Zeke Naji in a second.
And Cord probably a minor.
Oh my God.
Like I said, we can probably skip past this. But I did hear that the Thunder had been interested in Zeke Naji in the past.
That's tough.
Well, I'm
Poor-
sure after that year, now they're sold.
Dude, Josh Giddey is in a rough spot.
He's currently the most booed player in the NBA, and he can't shoot. So that's my-
But I mean, you're not going to shoot when everyone on earth is booing you. Man, it's tough to even comment on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any team's going to talk themselves into Josh Giddey.
You're not going to talk me into Josh Giddey, I'll tell you that.
All right, up next, another Serbian. Nuggets get a backup point guard, Vasa Micic of Serbia
I
and
bet-
of the Charlotte Hornets.
I got to think some of our chatters will enjoy this trade.
for Zeke Naji and a second round pick.
I love that all of your trades are just pandering to they're all Serbians or felons.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Who am I pandering to? Oh
my
fella?
God.
The chatters, our chatters.
That's not really a
Toyota
pander.
chat?
Yeah.
Well, not the second one, but it's just you're just like you're like all. What if we could get I don't know, Jokic's brothers?
Here's the thing.
I'm,
on
all
this
right, I'm
trade.
in on Vasa. I'm in on Vasa.
Backup point
He was
guard
good, man.
who actually played very well for Charlotte once he got traded there.
And actually got to play a little
Averaged
bit.
11.6 assists and did start a lot. Now you're probably asking, why would Charlotte give him up if he played so well? Well, LaMelo Ball was hurt end of the season. That's why he started. They've got some other young point guards that they've put assets towards like first round picks in the past, you think they want to get those guys playing time. And so I wonder if Micic would be available. I don't think the Hornets would ask for much. Maybe Denver would have to give up more in terms of draft capital here, but he feels like an upgrade at backup point guard.
And a piece that they don't need to hold on to really for any reason. You're not going to get a huge haul for him if you're Charlotte, but he also doesn't, even though he played well, I was going to say it doesn't fit into Charlotte's timeline. Charlotte doesn't even have a timeline.
Yeah.
Charlotte's just trying to figure out what day of the week it is.
What
so
are
maybe Vasa is a acquirable, cheap backup guard. And I would be in. I would be in.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Especially like if we're talking about who he would replace, which is Reggie Jackson. Like that would be,
right.
That's a very reliable player. That was an MVP of the Adriatic League, which I don't know if you knew this. Jokic was also the MVP of the Adriatic League. So I like that.
Not Adriatic. He won the MVP of the whole EuroLeague.
Oh,
There you go.
well, there we go.
Mistaken. And they'll also be playing together potentially for Serbia later this summer.
Yeah.
All right, next trade. I think you'll like this one, D-Line.
Is it which Serbian is involved?
It's not a Serbian.
What?
It's Steven Adams
Whoa.
for Zeke Naji, Reggie Jackson, a second-round pick. Steven Adams, who was hurt the whole season.
Whole season for like 2 seasons.
That's
right?
a big caveat.
For quite some time, really.
He's older. He's probably going to come with some injury concerns. But, man, that would be a great backup center option for the Nuggets to get.
Who could move better right now? Steven Adams coming off injuries, DeAndre Jordan last season.
Good question. The fact that I don't know the answer to it gives me some pause.
That is really the only reason I asked the question.
Yeah.
But I mean, is best, if Steven Adams somehow made this miraculous comeback and looked fresh, couldn't sign me up fast enough.
Yeah. Do you like Steven Adams?
I mean, as a human being, I love Steven Adams.
Yoke
trying to
famously
decide-
says that he's the only guy who doesn't talk trash to him in the league.
Yeah, because he's just like a great guy. He's good on boards. He's obviously really strong. The Nuggets are in a weird place where they play such a unique way with their center, obviously with Nikola Jokic, that you then have to be like, do we try and mirror that on the second unit? Like, do we want to keep that play style the entire time? Or does it completely flip how we play when the second unit comes in and then you have to play a more traditional, big down low with their back to the basket, which is like a big shift in style. And that could be detrimental, I think, for like a lot of players that are trying to figure out how to play alongside each of those guys, like a Peyton Watson or somebody that might sort of flip-flop between the starting unit and the second unit. He's a good player for sure. And they do need a backup big. To me, this is like another backup big that Michael Malone doesn't favor.
You don't think Adams is
Just his style.
established enough for Malone to be like, all right, I'm just playing him every night?
I mean, all the guys we had were established enough to play every night.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's obviously depends on his health.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what his health looks like. But you bring up a good point about the style and how would Peyton Watson go from playing with Adams to then Jokic and how that's completely different. But I mean, I think at this point you just need a competent guy there regardless of the style. And then you figure the other stuff out later.
Yeah, he's just a guy that seems like if he could stay on the floor, he would have utility. And it's just, the bar is low for that role.
Yeah.
We're really just talking about being a zero and not a negative at the moment.
How do we get Mason Plumlee back? Is that in here somewhere?
I believe he's a free agent, so he's not in the fake trade article.
Okay.
I also
all right.
think Mason.
That's the next article.
I think
okay.
Mason Plumlee,
10 free agent signings.
when he started his career, there was kind of a bit more room for the young, really athletic kind of traditional center. Then the Warriors thing happened a little
course.
bit. And then now the center position's back, but he also had to spend a lot of time backing up Jokic. I kind of think he always wanted to play more, is my point.
Yeah,
and
but
that's why he signed some of the deals he did, was just to get playing time.
But that was years ago. Like, things have changed. Like, Mason Plumlee is now should be one of the top backup bigs in the. Like, when we
You're
had
right. No,
him,
you're right about where his mindset should be. He's 34 now.
Yeah, and like when we got him, he was probably low, like in the bottom 5 of starting centers.
He was still in the prime of his career.
But he was in the prime of his career. But he was never like a top starting center.
Yeah.
And then Jokic pushed him to the bench, and it was like he wanted more playing time. And he also famously wanted to get the hell out of the bubble, which I don't know. We can't really comment on one way or the other. But he's just he's a passing big man.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you feel like, all right, we don't have to completely change everything when Jokic goes off the floor, even though you don't use him as like much of a fulcrum as you do Jokic. At least the alignments are the same and some of the philosophies are the same.
I also think as far as getting an Adams archetype, I think we got to sort of abandon this mindset of trying to mirror how the Nuggets play when Jokic is on the floor. Because there's not even a starting center in the league that you can do that with. Maybe Domantas Sabonis in a regular season setting.
Yeah, let's get him.
So
You might have to give up Hunter Tyson.
you know what a huge part of the problem is teams don't practice anymore, legitimately.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole practice should just be the guys that play when Jokic doesn't play, figuring out how they play together.
Let's just run 100 DHOs with Peyton Watson and Nikola Jokic. There's
you
your
know,
practice.
Or like if Jokic is off the floor and whoever your backup big is, just practice with your backup big. Figure out what you would run with that person.
Yeah.
But no one practices anymore. So that's part of the problem, I think. Because I don't know you're going to be able to replicate Jokic off the bench.
No, you can't replicate him, but you can at least replicate the structure.
Right.
I understand. It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good
thanks.
point.
All right, let's
Hey,
get
Kev,
another
clip that.
break. We got 6 more trades to run through on the other side. So we'll get through those
351.
really quickly, and then we'll move on after this.
You know what pairs well with the season? You know what pairs well with the off season?
What's that?
Miller Lite.
Oh,
I love when it's
man.
Miller time, because when it's Miller time, that means I get to drink Miller Lights.
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
no one even questions it because it's Miller time. Why would I not drink
Isn't
Miller
that
Lite?
crazy, though? It's always Miller time.
That's how I
Always.
feel. Some people in my life respectfully disagree.
It's
Just
not
kidding.
Miller time when you're brushing your teeth.
That's a
but it
good
could
point.
it could be.
Shower beer is underrated.
Make Miller time responsible, but make it a great time with Miller Lite.
go.
The original light beer.
Let me check my watch right. What do you know Miller time?
Oh, look at that. It is a Friday. It is a casual Friday.
Bro.
I like the light beers because I'm old now. And when I
Sure.
don't drink light beers, I gain weight
We know.
and I get super hungover.
We
But
know
Miller,
that the,
Miller Lite keeps it simple. Unbeatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. And again, they're the original. They've been doing this the whole time. And yeah, times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. It tastes like Miller Lite. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/DNVR, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces.
Also, you can play Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports right now.
take the over on Tatum. until Brendan repents.
Whatever it is.
The worst part of this run is that you could just have been taking the unders the whole time, and you could be in Cancun right now.
Until he repents.
Do you know what it's like to watch Tatum take a horrible shot, the Pacers cut the lead back to single digits, and then Derek White hits a wide open catch and shoot?
Yeah.
Because that's been my entire life, it feels like.
Yeah.
All right, I digress.
They also have a Caitlin Clark boost that
Okay.
they're doing. For every 3 she hits that night, your boost increases by 3%. So you can get in on Caitlin Clark as well if you're watching the WNBA.
I think she's starting to figure it out. She's had a tough start, but she's figuring it out a little bit.
She is 0-5.
They are 0-5.
Well, she's like playing on the equivalent of the Pistons.
Hey,
probably.
the pick'em does
She's
not
gonna
include
Wemby like
the pick'em does not include the team to win, man. You just got to believe in
Sure.
Caitlin Clark.
Sign up today with promo code DNVR. Claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy with the code DNVR. You can scan the QR code on the screen or go to the link in the description. To sign up today, must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Consider with your play. Call 1-800-522-4700. Okay, let's continue on the fake trades. This next one is for a point guard.
Okay.
The trade is Zeke Naji, Reggie Jackson, 2 second-round picks for Dennis Schroeder of the Brooklyn Nets.
Whoo.
Dennis Schroeder, who had a very good season with the Nets,
Yes.
coming off a good year. But Schroeder,
This feels
that feels like a big upgrade at backup point guard.
It's true. He does feel a little bit like he lives in the Reggie Jackson mold.
Yeah, similar type of player.
Similar type of player.
Yeah.
Better defender,
A little younger,
Just
if
a
I'm
better
not mistaken.
overall player.
better
too.
overall player.
Dennis Schroeder.
Let me know what you guys think in the
It's a yes for
Toyota
me.
chat as well.
It's a yes for me.
He averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists, 41% from 3 last year.
I mean, listen, considering what you are theoretically giving up, yeah, of course. Definitely.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, and I don't mean to be too blunt or brutal with it, but it's just the question of, is your backup point guard next year Reggie Jackson or Dennis Schroeder? And I would take the latter, personally.
Yeah. I don't know if the Nets want to give up Schroeder. They can't really tank because they don't own their own first round pick. They have Phoenix's, so it doesn't really matter to them if they tank or not. But just an interesting guy. Next up, another backup center slash power forward, Bobby Portis.
Ooh.
Zeke Naji, Reggie Jackson, a future first for Bobby Portis.
Feels steep. And who else? Who do you have?
Chris Livingston, salary filler.
I mean, it feels
Chris
steep.
Livingston, I presume.
It feels steep, but then the last trade looked a little light. I mean, the truth is no one's too excited for Reggie Jackson and Zeke Naji. You have to sweeten this up with some picks. So,
Golly, a first-round pick for Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis, you get a guy who's a lock for your playoff rotation.
Yep.
A lock to be your third big. He can
I
play
would love
backup
that.
center. He can spell Aaron Gordon at power forward. He's a playoff caliber big man.
You're right. And, lest we forget, Vlatko Chancho should be making his return.
That is true.
So that's like, if that's not the Twin Towers, that's the twin, something a little smaller.
you
than
have
a
another
tower.
big.
Yeah. The twin smaller towers.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. It's interesting. I hate the idea of giving up a first-round pick for Bobby Portis, but it is an absolute upgrade from the no one that we have. I guess from Zeke Naji.
I just don't think the messed up part is I don't think you're getting a Bobby Portis without including a juicy pick. And that may sound weird, but again, man, it's like teams are frothing at the mouth to take Zeke and Reggie.
Well, don't forget they might be it might be the 2 second-round picks. Don't forget they gave up 5 second-round picks to get what's his name, the guy with the dreadlocks that was on the Suns.
Jay Crowder.
Yes, they give up 5 second-round picks to get Jay Crowder. So they might be looking to restock that cabinet a little bit.
Yeah. All right, last fake trade, because I don't think we're going to have time to go through them all. This is a KCP replacement. Corey Kispert,
Whoa.
who I've actually heard has fans within the Nuggets organization. For
Mrs.
Zeke
Kispert?
Naji, Hunter Tyson, and a second-round pick.
That DC Nuggets pipeline.
Corey Kispert, absolute knockdown shooter.
Laser.
38% from 3 on over 6 attempts per game. He's KCP on offense, not on defense.
Not
though.
on defense. I mean, that's the thing about losing KCP, man. I think you could bring a defender in,
Right.
promote Christian Brown. I think you might be able to go get a shooter.
Yeah.
Can you get a true 3-and-D 2 guard the way Pope has been able to be at the peak of his powers? And that is not an easily replaceable piece.
That's so true. The Nuggets have to have defense in that spot. They have to, in that starting unit.
Yeah.
They have to. Like that's because that's the thing about playing with Nikola Jokic is you have to have good point of attack defense because he's not going to be a rim protector, and especially if you pair him with Aaron Gordon, who's reasonable at protecting the rim, but is not his strength either. That's what just happened to the Denver Nuggets.
We can also, I think our guy Ray in the chat just said it. We can also apply the KCP kind of filter here. You should expect everyone to be 11 to 16% better once they leave the Washington Wizards. Just
And join Nikola Jokic.
yeah, like you're just however you looked there.
The question: how much better is Ray since he moved from DC to here?
Let's ask
As
Ray.
a guy,
11 to 16% better.
right? I would think so.
But I obviously would just love KCP.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't think you can do that, especially if you're saying he's
I am
going to slot
prepared
into
for
the
it to not
starting unit.
happen.
No way.
Yeah. Should we go to Repent Corner
Yeah,
really
dude,
quickly?
it's time, dude. It's time.
Let's go to Repent Corner.
Dude, we have been so, I would say, proud in the face of the basketball gods for some time. And we didn't even realize it, frankly. At a certain point, you have to look, as you said, as any good blogger / podcaster
That's right.
must at some point
You have to.
look inward. That is part of the job.
It
Everyone
can't just
does
be
it.
everyone
repent
else. Can't
to
just
the
be everyone
basketball
else.
gods.
We didn't know that we were what we were doing was wrong, but the results speak for themselves. And so, if you guys, I can go first. I don't know if you guys have things you need to get off your chest, but I flew too close to the sun. I got too proud and too happy about the Denver Nuggets, especially when it came to the Minnesota Timberwolves fan base, even though I was specifically talking about the jabronis that were in the chat taunting us. I called the whole fan base adorable.
Adorable.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
I was, again, specifically talking about the jabronis in the chat.
Now they tell me
The
I'm adorable.
jabronis in the chat.
I'm just trying to write
However-
some pieces.
I didn't mean for it to seep out, but obviously our words have weight here on this podcast.
Yeah.
And Big Market D-Line stepped out of line, and I want to seek not only the apologies of you, my podmates, but the
Co-hosts.
basketball gods themselves. Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
Podmates makes me want to retire. Let's go with co-hosts.
Vote, would you like to repent for anything?
Now it's the time vote.
All right, so I may have personally probably thought that the Celtics would lose to the Nuggets in the finals. And I may or may not have put every single chip, metaphorically or literally, in my possession into the center of that table. And the Celtics are currently enjoying the easiest run in the history of the playoffs, and the Denver
boy.
Nuggets are at home.
that's too proud a description. You're putting qualifiers on it.
Basketball gods do not like qualifiers.
They don't like qualifiers, bro. The game's the game.
The Boston Celtics did nothing wrong. That feels dirty. I don't care. You know what? I'm quadrupling down. They're losing in the finals.
During
They're
repeat-
losing to the West. I'm sorry for absolutely nothing.
Oh my God! During repent corner,
Yeah, let me find a better one. I have a
bro.
better one.
The basketball gods do not like this vote.
We asked for the attention of the basketball gods for you to get even more flamboyant.
They're taking their
and
attention off the playoffs for 1 hour and putting it on this show, and they get that.
This is what we get.
Here's what I will apologize
Look
for.
deep in the mirror.
Here's what after round one, MPJ was looking real nice. And I tweeted, where would the Denver Nuggets be without Michael Porter Jr.? And that aged like the carton of milk that's in my fridge right now. And I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I should have waited. I should have counted my eggs before they hatched.
Yep.
That's on me.
Please forgive us, basketball
Please forgive me,
gods.
basketball.
Please
gods.
forgive us.
Please. All right, let's hit a final break. We'll get
What?
to
You're
on.
free of sin?
Let's hit a final break. We'll go online with D-Line next.
Oh, man.
I'm just the host.
He's Denver's best roofers have joined the DNVR team. You probably heard about them. You've probably heard the noise that we play. Yep, there it is. Red Hawk Roofing, they're Denver's best roofers. Quality materials, decades of experience, a quick response time, which is always lovely. Colorado's best estimators and contractors. And truth be told, this is an industry where some folks might take advantage of how little you know. And it's a complicated industry. And Red Hawk Roofing has made it part of their mission not to do that. Their long-term reputation with you, the customer, is more important to them than cutting corners or quarterly profits. You know what I mean? Also, there's a free no-obligation roof and property inspection, free in-depth photo reports for all inspections, and they'll give you a free upgrade to hail impact-resistant shingle. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out our good friends at redhawkroofing.com. Tell them DNVR sent you.
If you need tickets to concert shows, sporting events, check out the Game Time app and use the code DNVR20. Get $20 off your first purchase. Just code DNVR on the app. Terms apply, but create an account. Use the code DNVR. Get $20 off. Concert shows, sporting events in Denver, in Colorado, wherever you are. Game Time has you covered. Last minute tickets. Save up to 60% buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. They have flash deals, zone deals, all in pricing. You get seat views in the app of your seat, a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Lowest price guarantee. Also, they have Game Time ticket coverage as well with really good customer service. So, tickets to concert shows, sporting events, the Game Time app. It's the only app we use. Super easy to use. You don't feel like you're going to make a mistake if you're buying it on your phone or something, if you're spending a lot of money. You can trust Game Time there. Last minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. All right, back here on Casual Friday, hanging out with the fellas.
So casual.
We are here in the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. You guys in the Toyota chat, bringing it the whole show.
Hell yeah.
Let's go online with D-Line.
Kale, hit it. Let's go inside the internet. No telling how strange it will get. We'll look at memes and we'll look at GIFs. Everyone will try to riff. It's online with D-Line today. Wow, welcome into Online with D-Line. Finally, what everyone has been clamoring for me to get a solo camera shot on this goddamn show. Kale, I've been spending a lot of my time online since the season ended. I've come to realize that it really wasn't about winning the title. It was about the friends we made along the way. And I just want to bring some of the things I've been watching to you, the viewer, and to my co-pods.
My esteemed podmates.
My podmates. Kale, can you bring up the first one? So there's been a trend going around where somebody pointed out that you can make any NBA player look like an all-star through Reels and TikToks. Let's watch the Reggie Jackson mixtape here.
Oh, baby, let's do it.
We got to put we can't use the but look at this.
Oh, the high leg kick. He fell over on that.
The kick, the jump.
The Reggie.
It really is amazing. These are all things he did this year, but if you put them all together.
In a Clippers jersey.
Well, but I mean, like, this is all the exact same thing we got from the Reggie Jackson experience.
Yeah.
But if you put it all together, you're like, God damn, how do we get Reggie Jackson up
The best one I saw these was Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton looked like Magic freaking Johnson in this mixtape.
Yeah, I saw Kendrick Perkins where he basically looked like Prime Shaq as he was just dunking on guys and like
It's like watching tape on YouTube. They cut out all the misses.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I was really grinding away.
Yeah, dude. So it's really true. It's impossible to make an NBA player look bad. If you
even saw a Thanasis Antetokounmpo one.
Yes. Well, there were a couple that I was laughing at, and then there were like a couple old nuggets that I felt bad about. Like there was a Kenneth Faried one. I was like, he was good. And there was a Will Barton one. I was like, he was good.
He was good.
So I couldn't bring it. But then the Reggie Jackson and the Clippers jersey I felt was like very apropos to the overall point.
I did see that going around online.
Online. Well, listen, you're online. I'm online. We've got time on our hands. Kale, what else is going on online these days? You know, we are in the new era of transportation. Hold on. I'll tell you the start of when drones have taken over really the conversation when it comes to transportation of the future, how you're going to potentially deliver items to people,
yes.
How you're going to get things around. These drones are getting bigger and bigger and more impressive. Kale, let's watch this one. It makes you hopeful for the future, I feel like.
Let's see the drone.
Look at this big goddamn thing. So
that's huge. That's taking
like,
up almost the whole lane on the road.
So we're almost like this is like flying cars are the next thing if you use this, if you extrapolate.
Oh my god! You know what that was? The Nuggets after Game 5.
That was the Nuggets after Game 5.
You think whoever's flying that drone would have been smart enough to be like, let's not launch it on a busy street?
Well, there's a couple things at play here. One, that could easily have been staged.
Probably was.
Number two, like not a lot of forethought. Not clear what they were trying to get accomplished. Also hilarious. That just felt like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. Yeah. So we're changing the camera battery.
It was a tough stall.
This is a tough stall.
No, it's okay. You never know.
Not only was the timing terrible, the timing is still terrible.
What
Nothing has changed.
Have you ever flown a drone?
I have flown a drone, but like not very successfully. There were drones like are more overstated in their abilities, I feel like.
Yeah.
But like they obviously, because they have cameras on them, we see them just like flying up. But then if you yourself, like you've seen like drone races.
Yeah. Crazy.
but I can't do that. Like every time I try and
if I tried to fly a drone, it would go like that.
Every time I've flown a drone, it goes into the wall, it goes into the floor, it goes into somebody, and then I'm like, what is the point of this goddamn thing? Kale, are we back now? Can we go back
Cool, 'cause
online?
that's all we got on drones.
Okay. What else is going on online these days? Hot new debate just dropped.
Oh.
Harrison Wynn sent this.
Kale, can you pull the photo up?
It
Click on the
says,
photo.
water drinkers, what y'all grabbing? I'll tell you myself, I drink water in that I have to.
Perfect.
80% of my body is made of water. That's just me. I'm built
Mine
different.
too.
Oh, we're built the same. When I go into the convenience store, I simply pick the biggest, cheapest bottle.
Okay.
So I want to know from the finicky water drinkers, what would you choose if given the opportunity there?
Harrison
Not
Wynn.
Dasani. Dasani's disgusting.
Bottom tier. F tier.
Absolutely disgusting.
I'll take a Dasani right now. I don't care.
It's terrible. I usually go Smart Water.
Smart water.
I think it tastes good and it's not the most expensive. It's
And
like
it is-
middle tier.
And it is large. I
Yeah,
like that
and it
about-
is a lot of water.
I actually end up with a smart water oftentimes.
Smart Water,
because
I
it's
think
large.
it tastes good and, like I said, not as expensive as like a Voss or Essentia.
And I want to say Ethos water, except they're only available in Starbucks and $7.75.
That's an airport water.
Yeah, you're right.
Have you guys had Voss though? It's so good.
Yeah, it is good. It's just too expensive.
Fiji.
But it's so good.
I will take a Dasani. I'll take
Dasani's so bad, man.
I'll take one that came from the city of Chicago. I don't care. I'll take whatever's available, dude. I'm looking for straight up hydration when I'm picking water. You know, Eric is down bad, and hydration needs to happen if I'm choosing water at a
is a
gas
good point.
station.
That's a
Otherwise, I'm going Polar Pop all day, every day.
Let's go.
Let's go
For free.
Kale, what else is going on online these days? Please, let's find out. So you guys are familiar with the cicada invasion that happens every 13 years, but this is a super cicada
Yes.
invasion. So not only do we have this
Where is it happening?
It's happening both in the south and in the north. It really is an absolute scourge.
The
It's on,
southeast is
and
a
these are
nightmare.
insects.
Like Virginia
so
and stuff.
these are giant. They're insects, but they're also in many ways monsters,
Yeah.
and they are basically like cockroaches in size. They've been buried subterraneously for the last 13 years, and this is their pattern. These are creatures that exist on Earth,
Terrifying
to
creatures.
hang out underground, come out every 13 years, and then just die. That's their whole thing. That's their whole shtick. But they're so pervasive that now, like, I've seen people putting them in, like, drinks and stuff. This is at a game, a minor league baseball game. There's guys just like that are just eating cicadas.
Oh my God.
Don't put this on the show. I don't want to watch that.
Does he
Well,
actually eat it?
Yes.
Oh,
He ate it. That was a live cicada. And then look at him. He's like,
Chases it with some beer.
he's like, yeah, not that
This
bad.
guy too.
this
Not
guy's
that
like,
bad.
oh, I want to do it.
No, it's rough.
Oh my God.
Listen, man. Listen, man.
I don't like this at all.
This is. Listen. Even during the plague, you have to find a way to survive.
This is
You know
what's
what I mean?
going on online.
Yeah, this is what's going on online these days. People are eating cicadas. Well, first off, in real life, cicadas are being birthed from
That
the
I did
earth.
know. That I did know.
And then, at a certain point, you got to figure out what to do with all these things.
Might as well eat them.
You're not in. You're out. Would you eat a cicada? What's more likely to happen with you, Harrison? Drink a Dasani or eat a cicada?
That's tough. It's a tough call.
For as bad as Dasani is, it's still eat a cicada.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You would still eat a cicada. Oh, no. You would eat a cicada?
Yeah, that's
Or you would avoid the cicada?
no. I would avoid the cicada.
You would drink Dasani.
Even though Dasani is still bad.
Would
I
you drink a
avoid
Dasani
the
and
cicada.
wash it down with the cicada?
Did you ever do that?
That'd be very bad.
You ever do like the field trips to science centers and you eat the bugs and stuff? You ever do that? I eat
times.
chocolate covered bugs. Yeah.
Mealworms?
Yeah, like
Rough
a cricket in a lollipop.
Yeah.
But that guy
That's
just picked it
different.
up off
That's
the ground.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
know the
for
setup.
more.
I mean,
you don't know where the
obviously-
cicada's been.
Well,
It's
we do.
kinda-
It's been subterraneous.
Oh, that's right. We covered this.
Kale, what else is going on online these days? I think I have one more here.
A good
you
place
guys
to
are,
end.
You guys are familiar with
Wheel of Fortune?
Wheel of Fortune.
Yes,
It's
game show, Pat
a very,
Sajak.
very wholesome game where you play. It's aired during the time when your grandmother is watching. Children get off school.
Yeah.
A guy had a pretty a guess that he felt very confident in, which. Looking back, I don't know even why he felt confident in this. Kale, let's find out what this gentleman thought this.
Tavares, right in the butt?
Right in the butt.
No.
Because right in the butt, which would mean that he thinks that right in the butt is spelled R-I-T-E-I-N-T-H.
He said it so confidently. Right in the butt.
Right in the butt.
Is it this is the best?
It's probably this is the best.
This is I think the next person solved it, and she was just like, "This is the best."
And ironically, this is the best. This is actually the best. Right in the butt.
Right in the butt.
Right. He didn't say it like no
He was so
hesitation. He was like, "Oh
confident.
shit! Finally, my time has come." It's like that movie Slumdog Millionaire, where his whole life prepared him for the answers he had to give.
Right.
Him too. Right in the butt.
Right in the butt. Like, no, actually.
All right, let's hit a couple super chats. Thank you for bringing us online.
Yeah. Actually, though, really quick, Kill, will you just bring this up really quickly? I'm sending it to you. Okay. Just click it and bring it up right now. So not everybody is
Don't even look at it. Just click it and bring it up.
Not everyone is dealing with this offseason as well as everyone else. This guy from Kale Sorbo says, "Y'all, I'm on a bender that can only be described as biblical in nature."
Yeah. You tweeted this 2 hours before we went live,
Kale
Kale.
tweeted this while producing the Broncos show.
Yeah. I followed up. I was like, is he doing our show today?
The Nuggets have not, it hasn't been a full week since the Nuggets have stopped playing. Kale is in full bender mode. That
No,
can only
he's
be
not just
described
on a
as
bender.
biblical.
He's on a bender of biblical proportions.
At work. All right, what else do we got? Jeez, Kale. 55555-ish. Historic Boston events. The Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, the Siege of Boston. We might need to sing a new one. The Boston Cakewalk. I was nervous about that one for a second.
That's good.
and that
They
went
should
well.
call it the Boston Tea Sip.
Sasa, MPJ 36, 38, and 41 million over the next 3 years. Game 5, we gave up everything perfect. He gets in beef with Malone when he subs him. He forces shots next 2 games to prove himself, and the rest is history. Caruso for MPJ.
I do nothing like the full body language analysis, full armchair psychologist to go into a trade proposal. How come that one didn't come
A trade proposal that's not even legal or possible.
Not even legally possible. But
Caruso
still,
makes like no money compared to Porter, and I don't think the Bulls are trading him because the Bulls never tank.
the Bulls never take. What are the Bulls doing?
They're not sure.
You know what? You know where their season's going? Right in the butt. All right, Kale, let's get out of here.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this Casual Friday. We'll be back next week. Talk to you then.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.